So we're looking at unresponsive but breathing casualty. Steps to take to keep yourself right and also to help the person that you are aiding. We use a very simple method called the primary survey. Primary survey is Dr. D-R-A-B-C. And if you follow these letters, then it will guide you through the whole process. So D is for danger. It's really important that you check for danger before you go rushing in. If somebody's being knocked over by a car, for example, you want to make sure that the traffic has stopped. If somebody has spilt chemicals and it's all around them, you don't want to go kneeling into it. So always check for danger. Make sure it's safe. I can see around me that there is no danger. Always make sure you look up though as well in case any objects are falling down. We then go on to R. R is for response. Maybe she's sleeping, who knows? But I'm going to try and find out. So it's a very simple technique. You don't want to hit the person, kick, bite, stab, or punch them because you don't need to do that to try and get a response. All you're going to do is give a gentle shake of the shoulders, and if you know their name, then you can say that as well. Edna, it's Sarah. I'm just going to give you a bit of a shake. Edna, can you hear me? Can you try and open your eyes for me? Clearly, there is no response. Edna is unresponsive. Now, if you know that there's other people around to aid you, you could be at work, you might be at home, there could be other family members. Shout for them so they can come and help you. I'm going to go on to the letters A, B, C now. So A stands for airway. When somebody is unresponsive, every single muscle in their body relaxes. It's what we call dead weight. So if you can imagine, your tongue will also relax because it's a muscle. And the tongue will block the airway. So what we have to do here with the airway is to open it. I want you all, as you're sitting then just now or standing, I want you to try and put your head all the way back, as if you're trying to look over the back of your head. Now try and swallow. It's either extremely difficult or you can't. Why? Because you have lifted the tongue off the back of the airway and you have opened it. So on my casualty, I need to do that. I'm going to put one hand on their forehead and keep hold of the head, because if you let go, it's just going to relax again. I'm going to put two of my fingers underneath their chin and I'm going to tilt the head back. That lifts the tongue off the back of the airway. Once I've got the airway open, I'm going to look down the stomach. And this is really important. You want to take 10 seconds. I'm going to look to see if I can see the stomach rise and fall. I am listening to see if I can hear the person breathing. And I can also feel them breathing on the side of my face. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The casualty is breathing. At this stage, you have to make them safe. If there's somebody else with you, get them to call emergency services and get them to tell emergency services that we have a casualty who is unresponsive but breathing. I need to make this person safe. I'm going to put Edna into the recovery position. And this is how we do it. We've got to make sure we're using their body to aid us to get them onto their side. The arm that is closest to you, we want to just take it out of the way and just let it relax. We want to pick up the arm that's furthest away from us, and what you want to do is put your palm onto their palm and hold the hand. Hold it onto the side of their face and keep hold of it, because if you let go, it's just going to flop right back down. I'm going to pick up Edna's leg, the furthest away leg. I'm going to put my hand underneath her knee and I'm going to lift her leg up. And once we've done that, we're going to flip her onto the side, just like so. Now Edna is onto her side. I've got to make sure that I pull the leg up. It's like stabilizers on a bike. She is completely over And I'm going to loosen the scarf around her neck as well, just to help with the breathing. It's extremely important at this stage that you check the airway again and tilt the head back. Once you've done that, it will stay open. Now, we've done the doctor, we've done the A, B, and we've got an ambulance on the way. We now need to look at that letter C. C is for circulation. What does that mean, I hear you say? Your heart beats, and when it beats, it pushes blood around the body, and blood carries oxygen. This is the circulation system, hopefully never stopping. But in this primary situation, we're going to be checking to see if there's any break in the circulation, as in blood loss. If there was any blood loss, you're going to use whatever you have to hand, whether it's a tea towel, your jacket, a hat, a scarf, and you've got to stem the bleeding firmly. But I'm going to check Edna's body, just in case there's bleeding that I can't see that's obvious. Now at this stage, I strongly advise that you put gloves on, just in case there is blood loss. At work, with a first aid kit, you will have gloves inside of it. So you're going to pop on your gloves, just so that you don't get blood all over yourself. And once you've got them on, I'm just going to do a head to toe. So I'm going to start the person's head. Now, if they've got a lot of hair, then it might be quite difficult to see if there's any blood loss. I'm going to get my hand and just gently, Edna, I'm just going to check to see if you're bleeding anywhere. So I'm just going to have a feel of the head, and I'm going to look at my gloves to see if I can see any blood on them, and I can't. There is no shape, there's no bumps that I can feel, everything feels okay, and there's no blood. I'm then going to go down the spine, again looking at my gloves to see if I can see any blood loss, if I can feel anything that is out of place, and I can't. I'm then going to check the hips. It all looks stable and there is no blood. I'm going to go down the legs, keep looking at your gloves, down to the ankles, keep looking at your gloves as you're doing it. Do both legs. I can't feel any breaks, I can't see any bones, and I can't see any blood. I'm just going to check the arms as well. And again, I can't see any blood. So there is no break in the circulation. Once you have completed the primary survey, this is now you are waiting for emergency services to arrive. If you were by yourself and there was nobody to call emergency services, this would be the time that you would get your phone. I would put it onto hands-free and call that number 999 or the European number, which is 112. I'm going to get myself comfortable now, and I'm going to stay with the casualty until 999 arrives. But what I'm going to do is put this hand in front of the face so I can feel the breathing, and I'm going to put my hand on the small of her back and make sure that you keep reassuring them, telling them positive, help is on the way, and they're going to be absolutely fine. When emergency services arrive, they will ask some questions. What happened? Did you see what happened? Do you know if there's any medical conditions that the person might have? And if you know the answers, pass these details on to them. I'm Sarah, owner and trainer of First Aid at Work, Aberdeen and Aberdeenshire, making training fun, engaging, but most importantly, memorable.